Howdy y'all! Today is the day where we depart from the original Pokemon games of the Kanto region and move to a different place, namely Johto. And what better way to start off our Pokemon analysis journey than with Cyndaquil, a Pokemon you are meant to start with anyway. The Cyndaquil line was definitely not a successful attempt if the aim was to copy Charizard's legendary fame by copying its base stats, but maybe Typhlosion's aim was to conquer its native region of Johto instead of the hearts of the worldwide fanbase. So, how well did Typhlosion do in Gold, Silver, and Crystal? Let's find out. Cyndaquil's moveset at level 9 consists of Tackle, Leer, and Smokescreen. And while that is enough to burn through the Bellsprouts sprouting in Bellsprout Tower, unless it overlevels, that ain't really cutting it with Faulkner. The Birdmaster is notoriously very hard to deal with at level 9 because of his cheated, illegal level 9 Pidgeotto. But after that, Cyndaquil will get Ember at level 12, giving it its first stab move. With Ember, Cyndaquil will proceed to be decent in Union Cave, beating most of the rock types that trainers have by virtue of their weak special defense and lack of stab move of their own. It will only fall to Hiker Anthony, which in all fairness is not a mandatory fight. Cyndaquil's matchup at the Slowpoke Wells Rocket Gauntlet is quite uneventful, unless it evolves around level 14 to Quilava. This early evolution is very much appreciated, as it not only makes this fight way easier, but also allows it to sweep Bugsy, though it can sometimes fall to some combination of Scyther's powerful quick attack and Kakuna getting a lucky Poison Sting poisoning it. Quilava will, of course, fail to beat the rivals Croconaw and Azalea, though it can defeat his other two Pokemon, which is nice. With such fiery confidence, Quilava will proceed all the way to Goldenrod, home to mighty gym leader and professional dream breaker, Whitney. Whitney's Clefairy will not be too hard for Quilava to break through. But not only does Miltank have significantly better stats than Quilava, as well as most Pokemon you get at this point, to be fair, Quilava is weak to the most dangerous move of the cow, Roll Out. The best a Quilava player might do is spam Smokescreen and thus have subsequent rollouts from Miltank be likely to miss after Quilava falls, giving its teammates a better chance. Quilava can also force rollout misses with Dig, but it doesn't really matter as Miltank's combination of Stomp, Milk Drink, and Rollout will always prevail eventually. Where Dig will prove useful, however, is against Morty's physically frail Ghost Squad. Now, of course Haunters and Gengars are quite fast and Gengar has Hypnosis to ruin Quilava's day, but even if the solo doesn't happen, our fire-spitting friend will dent the Ghost Trainer quite a bit with Dig at the very least. Quilava will then beeline it for the next gym matchup, Chuck. And before you ask, yes, Quilava is weak to all water trainers in the surf routes leading to Cinnawood, but you can avoid like all of them, so it doesn't even matter, okay? Chuck's surfing Poliwrath, however, is a water Pokemon that Quilava is not gonna avoid anytime soon and that will destroy him, no questions asked. The Primeape, though being a better matchup for sure, is absolutely not in Quilava's favor either, given the non-fully evolved stats as well as the best stab move being Ember. Before we move on to the next part, Johto is known to allow some flexibility in gym order, and many people will fight Jasmine at this point. However, we will consider gyms in the level order as we always do, so we will probably go to Mahogany right now. Quilava will have no business helping his team against Red Gyarados whatsoever, as Gyarados resists fire and is immune to Dig. Now, you might think that Quilava's matchups against the ice gyms are pretty good, but wait a minute. Price's lineup is composed of Seal, Dugong, and Pillow-Swine, which happens to be two water types and a ground type, all super effective against Quilava's Quilava matches up really well against Price. Well, as it turns out, none of these Pokemon have the moves of the types that Quilava doesn't like, so They all only have ice and normal moves for damage, and while Seal resists Quilava, Dugong does not, and Piloswine is weak to fire moves, giving a nice opportunity to the fire starter to smack the ice ace. And regarding Jasmine, her Magnemites get destroyed by Dig and even Rock Throw from her Steelix barely being an inconvenience, giving Quilava's much more important damage potential with Flame Wheel, his way higher speed, and the fact that Steelix can opt for the very tactical Sunny Day move. Around that point in the game, Quilava will evolve into Typhlosion, which not only gives it a much needed stat increase, but also means it can learn TM Fire Punch and Ice Punch, giving it a great duo of moves it can use from this point on. Team Rocket, Radio Tower Split, aka the most boring mandatory arc in any Pokemon game. Now, Claire's fight is brutal to Typhlosion. Look at this team and movesets. This looks like it was made to be Typhlosion. Between all Pokemon resisting fire, including her 1 double resist on her Ace, 2 Pokemon having Surf, and 3 Pokemon getting Thunder Wave to cripple with otherwise fast Typhlosion, there's nothing this guy can really do but just leave this one up to his teammates, if we're being honest. For the Elite Four Gauntlet, Typhlosion is definitely not the worst Pokemon of all time, though it's not the best either. It gets super effective moves for everything Will knows and loves, though it has to be careful of Slowbro, or of being worn down by Zatus that it cannot really OHKO. Koga has 3 bugs it can exploit, as well as a Crobat it can Thunder Punch, and Karen has Vileplume and Murkrow that it can smack with Fire Punch and Thunder Punch respectively, the latter of which can be used to mess with Gyarados and Charizard on Lance, which is definitely not bad. Typhlosion can also brawl with the more neutral targets like the Hitmons, Chan and Lee, on Bruno. Briefly going over Kanto, most of Typhlosion's matchups are neutral, which means it's just going to have to use its stats to max effect and click buttons until it faints. It has to be very careful of Misty and Brock, though both have water Pokemon it can at least damage with Thunder Punch. Blue Squad has a lot for Typhlosion to use its newly acquired Flamethrower as well as its Thunder Punch on, namely Gyarados, Pidgeot, and Executor, which makes it quite nice. And as for the red fight, Typhlosion can beat Venusaur Charizard with Thunder Punch, can outspeed and OHKO the Pikachu at the same level with Flamethrower, and can brawl with Espeon, though it might lose the 1v1. Overall, Typhlosion is quite the decent Pokemon in Gen 2. It has a couple of good matchups throughout the game and does not feel like a burden for the most part, which is definitely way better than anything Kanto Charizard has ever done. What do you think of Gen 2 Typhlosion line? Is it worth the starter pick? Or would Gator and Chikorita still win your favors over it? Feel free to let us know in the comments, and as always, do not forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Check these videos out, and I will see you in the next one.